McLaren unstoppable? That is the verdict which came out from the Miami Grand Prix after McLaren's latest 1-2, with George Russell in third, having been a distant 37 seconds adrift. The Woking-based team sits comfortably at the top of the Constructors' Championship, whilst Oscar Piastri leads the drivers' title. McLaren has all the ingredients to be unstoppable this season, but some crucial problems are in its way. But what are those? In this latest video from Racing News 365, we dissect McLaren's current performance and the problems it faces in the coming weeks, starting this weekend in Imola. But before we get on with the video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Now, let's get on with the video. Having won 5 of the opening 6 rounds, 1 win for Norris and 4 for Oscar Piastri, it is clear that McLaren does currently have the strongest package on the grid. Its advantage in Miami was a considerable one, with Max Verstappen, the only non-McLaren driver to have won a race this season, having been 40 seconds behind in 4th. Race pace is the real strength of McLaren's MCL39, with it being even in Japan where Verstappen claimed victory, he had both McLarens within a couple of seconds all race. One mistake would have dropped him from 1st to 3rd. McLaren's race pace is in a league of its own, and that is thanks to supreme tyre management. Its rivals have all been suffering from tyre degradation and tyres overheating, but not the Woking-based team. Since the ground effect cars were introduced in 2022, the wheel rims are completely closed through specific fairings that prevent heat produced from braking from being dissipated to the side of the car. Instead, it is channeled via an in-wash concept to reduce wake turbulence. As a result, every team has been hit with the problem of an increase in temperatures inside the tyres, thus increasing pressures. These two are connected factors. As a consequence of reducing the contact patch of the tyre is a progressive increase in degradation. All teams have been trying to find solutions since 2022 to reduce these effects while staying within the rules. A decisively thorny factor centres around the internal channels inside the brake drums and any flaps inside them, which, according to the rules, could be regarded as a movable aerodynamic device and banned under the rules. The MCL39's brake drums and brake systems were subject to extensive FIA checks after the Miami Grand Prix, but all was found to be legal. However, some teams are reported to have had thermal imaging pictures of McLaren's car, showing cooler spots inside the complex brake ducts inside the drums. But as just mentioned, the FIA found nothing and the car was deemed legal. It is not the first time McLaren's car has been subjected to potentially being in breach of the rules, with its rear wing having caused much debate already this season. Multiple new rear wing technical directives have been introduced this year, with the amount of rear wing flexing having been reduced all the way down to 0.5mm. Despite this, more movement has been spotted on McLaren's rear wing, yet it has passed all FIA inspections and has been deemed legal. A potential upcoming challenge for McLaren is the Spanish Grand Prix, where a new technical directive for the front wing will be introduced, also to clamp down on flexing. McLaren has stressed it is not concerned about the upcoming new front wing rules, whilst current Stake F1 team boss and former Red Bull sporting director Jonathan Wheatley having insisted that the pecking order could completely change in Barcelona. It's a major performance differentiator, so I think you're right, it could be a change in the order. You look at how tight it is at the front and in the mid-pack. A little change like that could have a huge difference. Whilst McLaren's race pace is comfortably the best on the grid, it has been beatable in qualifying. Despite McLaren winning 5 of the 6 completed races ahead of this weekend's Emilia Romagna Grand Prix, A papaya car has only started on pole 3 times. Max Verstappen has claimed 50% of the pole positions this season, with qualifying very much being where the likes of Red Bull and Mercedes have been able to deal McLaren blows. It was not getting pole which cost McLaren victory in Japan, with overtaking having been too difficult. Had Verstappen not left the circuit and gained an advantage in Saudi Arabia, he would have likely won there as well. At circuits where overtaking is very tricky, beating McLaren to pole position is a proven method to beating them in the race. It is something which could be crucial in the upcoming European triple header, with overtaking in Imola, Monaco and Barcelona being very difficult. The problem in qualifying for McLaren is that it must push to its limits to claim pole position, despite its race pace advantage. This has opened the door to costly mistakes, like Lando Norris's Q3 crash in Saudi Arabia. On the topic of Norris, McLaren's drivers could not be more different to one another. Championship leader Piastri is cool, calm and collected, whilst Norris wears his heart on his sleeve and is not afraid of expressing his emotions to the media. It is something that Britain has been both commended and criticised for. Yet in the latest episode of the RacingNews365.com podcast, former F1 team boss Otmar Zafnau compared Norris to Ayrton Senna, whilst recognising the advantages and disadvantages to being emotional in F1.
If you have that steely determination and you're unflappable or you have less emotion, I think that in a few sports is very valuable. Motor racing being one of them, golf being another, maybe tennis being another. They're mainly the sports where you don't have to rely on teammates so much. It's down to you. But then on the other hand, there have been a lot of drivers that are world champions that do wear their heart on their sleeve. So it can be done. Ayrton Senna was a bit more emotional and probably my all-time favorite driver in Formula One cars. But, others weren't. So it can be done by either type of personality, if that's the right word. Oscar, like you pointed out, has got a lead right now. But, if you have one failure or one off or one DNF or whatever, then that lead is gone.
Norris came out of the blocks in Australia like a driver who meant business, yet several mistakes have left the driver chasing teammate Piastri. The Australian leads by 16 points and has only made one real error, his trip to the grass in his home race. Since Australia, Piastri has gone from strength to strength, taking whatever big result he can get rather than pushing beyond the limit. He has become the title favourite for many, yet a new approach from Norris in Miami has created much intrigue. Norris was much more positive after finishing second, suggesting that he has reduced the pressure from his shoulders. What is inevitable is that both McLaren drivers are in a title fight. A proud moment for the team, but one which could cost it both titles. As pointed out by CEO Zak Brown, a clash between the pair is very likely. It is definitely a matter of when and not if. If you have two racing drivers, whether they're in the same team or a different team, that are next to each other for 24 races, someone is going to lock a brake. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting it over with, because I don't think it is going to be anywhere near as exciting as everybody thinks. It'll be a racing incident when that day comes, so it is inevitable. They are two great characters, neither of them are hot heads, so we are not worried about it. To a certain extent, we're just kind of looking forward to getting it out of the way. Several talking points and potential problems McLaren may have to overcome very shortly, which could hurt its 105-point advantage over Mercedes. Will its qualifying pace continue to cost it race wins? Will the new front wing rules from Spain hurt its pace advantage? Will Norris and Piastri collide? It only takes one of those questions to be answered with yes for a title fight to ignite. Red Bull learnt last season that dominance can quickly end. McLaren could discover the same in even quicker fashion. Do you think McLaren will be caught this season? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. See you this weekend for the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. See you later.